You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, WoolDog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
I missed you guys. And it hasn't been very long, but I've missed you.
It is. It's long enough, buddy,
Yeah, it's long enough.
to
It's long
miss
enough.
somebody. And let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hi, guys.
Hello there. So,
Wow.
all right, gang. Well, there is plenty to talk about this episode. We've got a very special fan focus and a Bolt Insight lined up for you. And there's still moving and shaking going on as we expected. But we want to start this off with this was weird. This dropped. I saw this posted on the Reddit, on the subreddit for the Chargers, and I followed the tweet and I sent it to you guys. I was like, is this real? It seems like it kind of is.
Looks
I don't
pretty
know.
real to me.
All right, so I should probably, just to cite my source here, this comes from Bolt Up, aka at Ring Season Bolt Up, tweeted out a screenshot of a chat with Kyzir White on Instagram, and they asked Kyzir White, still waiting. Kyzir White said, yes, sir. Chargers not bringing me back, though. And this person said, damn, that's tough. You getting some interest from other teams, though? And he said, yeah, a few teams. Just waiting now. I'll let you know. So,
Overhaul. This is a full overhaul.
a full-on overhaul, which is just...
if this is true.
If this is true, exactly, yeah. We don't know if this is true or not. We might get blindsided tomorrow with, like, Kyzir White signs 5 years with the Chargers, something like that.
I don't know, man. If they're already tendering kind of backup guys before they take care of what should be a pretty big contract,
Mhm.
I don't think the future is with the Chargers for Kyzir White,
No.
unfortunately.
It
I
doesn't
really
seem
liked
that way.
him.
It's a little
But-
surprised by that, honestly, if that
No.
happens. Like, they're really going in a different direction.
Well, and I think that's what's so surprising is he was so productive last year. He
Right.
had the most tackles on the team. And
He played every single game.
Played every
when
single game.
No
Yeah,
linebacker
reliable.
could stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is really surprising to see, especially since we have, like, there are guys on the line that we can expect to not see back next season because we've picked those positions up. Like, we're picking guys up in those positions, but
Right.
we haven't really picked up any, like, Kyzir replacements yet. So
not
it
yet.
is kind of surprising to see that. We were all hoping that we would be able to get him back, especially on something maybe not too pricey. But if this is to be believed, Kyzir White saying that he's not coming back. So
Gone.
we'll keep an eye on the news and see if he does sign somewhere. And as soon as he does, we'll be sure to talk about it on the chat. But some pickups that we did have, the Chargers gave Gerald Everett a 2-year, $12 million deal worth up to $13.5 million. $8 million fully guaranteed. He is a tight end out of the Seattle area, and that came from Ian Rappaport. So
This is a step to the side, but up a little bit. It's a side up step.
yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
It's not a rocket to the stars. It's
No.
It's the Jared Cook
it's a little
replacement
escalator. Yeah.
It's younger, and I think there's a little bit more of a ceiling there. I think Jared Cook was, at the time of his career when we got him, he was what he was, and it wasn't going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Gerald Everett he's still a younger guy, and it's not a long. It's a 2-year deal, so it's not like we're investing a long. I think it's kind of a prove it deal, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Come in, play with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and prove that you can do it. Last year he had a good season. He didn't even have Russ most of the time, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. That's all we can be now. Like, I mean, what am I going to do? Moan and complain about it? There's nothing we can change. So
No,
Right.
let's go all in on the Everett train.
It
Right.
feels like this feels like a slight upgrade. This feels
Yeah.
good. Like, and he definitely, I think there was another stat where Cook, in terms of like broken tackles, Cook didn't break any tackles, and this guy was breaking tackles all over the place. They posted some
Interesting.
highlights of him playing, and it's a different kind of energy at tight end. It's definitely it's quicker. It feels quicker. So hopefully he's just like a diamond in the rough, and we can expose the gem.
Right. Yes. Having a quarterback like Justin Herbert might really bring out the best in him. As a comparison, Chargers Course put out a tweet here, the comparisons between Jared Cook and Gerald Everett. Cook was 34, is 34, I should say. Gerald Everett is 27. Cook's drop percentage is 7.2. Gerald's is 4.8. So a little better.
Improvement.
Better.
I don't like those. I want that 0, but I'll take it. That's
Right.
an improvement.
0 is that's not doable. Come on, guys.
Yards per target, Cook was averaging 6.8. Everett's averaging 7.6.
Better.
Better, closer, warmer. Touchdowns, they tied it up at 4 each, and catch percentage, Cook at 57.8, Everett 76.2. So
yeah, and you have to keep in mind as well the kind of offense that Gerald Everett was playing in versus Jared Cook, right? We're in aired out, throw the ball a lot, throw for 300 plus yards a game, where the Seahawks, they have no intention of doing that unless they're forced to.
Yeah.
They want to run the ball 30 times a game and play action and take a couple deep shots.
So that's why DK Metcalf wasn't good for me last year on my fantasy football team.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Seattle isn't a big, heavy, throw the ball, throw the rock around type of offense. So
gotcha.
And they're not anymore.
Definitely
not
not anymore. Yeah. I would anticipate those numbers going up quite significantly in his first year at the Chargers.
All right. Something to look forward to.
The catch percentage to me is the most exciting, right? Cook caught only half of his balls, 57%, and Everett's at 76%. So he goes up and gets balls. Even if, when he's targeted, he's going to try to catch it.
Yeah.
And he's not going to not look towards the quarterback when the ball's thrown.
Stop running routes and just kind of give up. Yeah.
Shrug my shoulders, walk off to the side. Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't see that from Gerald Everett, so that's a nice pickup. And then we saw that Chargers have signed punter J.K. Scott, who spent 2018 to 20 with the Packers and played one game for the Jaguars last season, a former fifth-round pick. In his last season in Green Bay, Scott posted a 45.5-yard gross punting average, good for the second best mark in a single season in team history, with a minimum of 35 punts. As a rookie, he became the first punter in Packers history to register a punt of at least 58 yards in each of his first 3 NFL games. The Alabama product played in 4 postseason games for the Packers, punting 13 times and averaging 43.6 yards per punt. That all comes from Daniel Popper.
Smoke screen.
Yeah.
Ariaza.
We just got this guy for competition. That's it.
Arizas. What did I say? Ariaza.
Yeah.
There's only one punter everyone's talking about.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is cool. Yeah, we needed one. He's probably cheaper than Long. So that's kind of why that happened. And you got to have one on the roster. Doesn't mean I can't imagine there's any guaranteed money. So if there's a better opportunity to come up, that might happen. So we'll see. But at least we have a punter now. There's a special teams unit we can actually go out on the field with.
Yeah. So yeah, we've kept the kicker and got a new long snapper, and now we got a new punter. So
we took 2 punters into camp last year too. I remember going to the fan fest.
We did.
And there was 2 guys out there. What was it? Wasn't it one of your kids' names, Kev? Lachlan?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of the punters?
Yeah, Lachlan.
Edwards?
Lachlan Edwards. Yeah.
And so who knows? This guy was a draft. I don't know. I didn't know he was cut by the Packers. I remember him having a big leg. He played for Alabama, so he played in national championships and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Good competition
at the end of the
very
day.
least. Yeah.
He got signed by the Chargers, so he's going to punt like 12, 13 times this year.
There you go. There you go. Shouldn't see the field too often. And then I don't think we really touched on this in the last episode, but the Chargers ended up converting $13.5 million of Khalil Mack's 2022 pay into a signing bonus, creating $9 million in cap space. So
smoke and mirrors.
Just
Creative
making more
financing.
room. Yeah. Just trying to clear up some space. And I think the last I saw, we've had a lot of moving and shaking with the tight end and the long snapper and everything like that. But I want to say the last Dan Popper spreadsheet I saw had us at about 15 mil in available expenditure. So still some moves to be made, especially if we don't bring Kyzir White back. I'm really curious to see what they end up doing. I
feel like you're going to have to go find a linebacker. It's in free agency. You can't just rely on, draft kids.
But that's the thing though, is on our roster right now, you have a first-round draft pick in Kenneth Murray, Andrew Tranquil, that should, in looking at your roster, that should be your 1-2 guys inside.
Right.
They must really like Neiman. They must really think highly of him.
There's Neiman, Ogbong, Mamiga.
Ongbong. Yeah.
So
they both got a lot of playing time last year. So there's not maybe there's not as dire of a need. again, like we're going to talk about it here in a minute, but Telesco went on and had an interview, and he talked about how like the free agency doesn't end this week. It goes all the way through April.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see what all moves. I mean, there's still a couple of, I wouldn't say glaring holes. There's not like, holy shit, we got to fill this hole, but there's you'd like to see some better players in some of those positions.
I feel like right now we're moving on to those depth pieces that are what make you from a good team to a great team, because these guys are going to get hurt no matter what. Khalil Mack will probably miss a game. Like Joey Bosa might miss. We have to have guys that can step up.
Hey. Whoa, pump the brakes.
Hey.
Yes. As Kyle mentioned, Telesco was on Pat Mcafee, and if you guys haven't checked it out, please do go check to Pat McAfee's YouTube page. He's got the whole interview there.
It's like a 30-minute Tom Telesco interview.
And it's honestly a really good watch, because you get to look at a side of Tom Telesco that he doesn't like completely let his guard down and tell like every secret of his general managing.
But he looks comfortable.
He looks comfortable, and he does give some pretty interesting insights. And one of those was him saying this trade, it worked for us and it worked for them. He was talking about Khalil Mack. We won't know till way down the line who won the trade. All I care about is about the player that we got. I don't really worry about what we gave up. What's nice about that move is we are trading for a player. Our head coach worked with him for a full year, so he knows him not only as a player, he knows him as a teammate, how he's going to fit in the locker room, how he's going to fit in the scheme. And it's the same scheme, so that's very helpful. So when you make this move, you feel better about it, more comfortable with it, because our head coach worked with this player. In our business, we are moving on to the next move. I walk down the hallway to Brandon's office and I say, hey, we got him. I gave him a fist bump. He looked at me and said, we got who? I said, we got Khalil. It's all set. I gave him a fist bump and I walked out. I moved on to the next move. He was a little more excited, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just like walk into your head coach's office, but we
got Khalil Mack.
But no, the fact that he said, who did we get?
Who did we get? What?
Yeah.
Like
you're trying to get 1 million people. Which one hit?
Yeah, which one did we get?
Right.
Yeah.
The number one guy that you targeted.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Then that was before free agency even started, so that was just a trade coming out of the gate.
Right, and that's what he said. He was like, "This wasn't necessarily even something on our radar. It just kind of popped up, and then everything happened so quickly that they were just like, we got to get. It's Khalil Mack. We got to get this guy." So, I thought that was really interesting, and I mean, you got to imagine Staley was pretty excited, because if you've been watching the Chargers social media, they put out the video of Staley, saying Khalil's name like 16 times or something like that.
He said it like 3 times in his opening press conference too, which was like, I didn't realize he did that.
This guy that's not on the team, I coach Khalil Mack. Yeah, Khalil Mack. Take a shot every time I say Khalil Mack.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to imagine Staley was over the moon about it. And then they sat down with Khalil Mack as well. Khalil said on his initial reaction to reuniting with head coach Brandon Staley, I was in the room with my fiance and my son. Agent Joel Segal called. I think we were watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was kind of a strange coincidence. It was weird to hear, but understanding of the team and the coach and having a relationship with Coach Staley and knowing his mindset and his passion for the game, it kind of went from bittersweet to excited, knowing who I'm dealing with and the type of man that he is, first and foremost, and how much he truly loves the game of football. You can feel that whenever you speak to him, not just understanding the football aspect, but the man and the relationship that we have and what we were able to do while we were together. I got excited.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Which is very awesome. You can see it immediately. Again, if you watch the Chargers social media, when he was coming to the office to meet with Brandon Staley, sign the contract, all that kind of stuff, he's saying hi to every single person and asking them what their name is. Like, hi.
I did see that.
Wait,
I was kind of getting like Justin Herbert vibes from Khalil Mack.
Well, I think that was something he picked up from Staley, because that's what Staley's been doing. And I think that's part of that culture. Staley's not necessarily having to reteach that to Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's bringing that already primed and ready to go.
It's like a very good kind of virus to spread around the team. Like this just energy and positivity and like being a good guy. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
It also gives you a glimpse into being like, as Charger fans, obviously, when we saw that trade, we were all, me and Kevin were jumping up and down, hugging, crying. But this guy, like, he was invested in Chicago. They traded and they gave up a lot to get him. So he probably felt really much at home, and he was still under contract for like three more years. So it may have come to him as a bit of a shock, and it's nice that he was still excited about the fact because he got to reunite with Staley.
Right. Yeah. It's like if he could have gone to anywhere with any coach, Staley would have been the guy.
Good
I imagine.
Situation for him.
If you watch the video of him sitting down with Haley Elwood, he talks about like, Chicago, like that's where his son was born, and he's already kind of like made connections with that town. So yeah, I can imagine it would kind of hurt to be surprised that like, hey, we're shipping you off, but I mean, come on, man, Staley.
Shipping me off
dude.
to Cali.
Let's see. He also talked about joining a defensive unit that features Joey Bosa and Derwin James Jr. When you talk about Joey Bosa, Derwin James, J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel Jr., and all these different intangibles, and these guys are very explosive players and explosive playmakers, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, that's the easy part to talk about it, but I'm an action guy. That's what I'm looking forward to, putting in the work and winning ball games ultimately.
You know what was kind of crazy? Like the initial reaction from, and I think I heard it in multiple interviews from him, he kept bringing up Asante Samuel, and I'm like, he's a rookie that missed like 4 games with concussion stuff, and he's still being talked about by Khalil Mack. Like,
oh yeah,
he's thought of pretty highly, and maybe that's because of Derwin. That's like kind of what he's selling.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty cool that Asante. I know some fans that I've talked to just casually aren't super high on Asante for whatever reason.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Just, I mean, obviously he got hurt twice making tackles.
Right. We just haven't had a chance to see as much of him. But man, I mean, those first couple of games, he was just making such an impact on the team.
But there is like I guess the one worry that I do remember hearing was that he's kind of a little bit of a liability because he's just wanting to make the big play all the time.
A little on the reckless side.
Yeah, a little bit reckless. And obviously with limited tape, and him getting hurt twice, there's just kind of a little bit of a taste in some people's mouth probably. But to hear Khalil Mack even know his name it's
pretty cool.
It says a lot. Yeah.
There you go. And one last quote here from Khalil Mack on Staley taking input from players and implementing that input. I feel like we talked a lot of ball, which is why I can say I know who he is as a person and as a coach. He definitely listened. I feel like it was a mix of him and former Bears defensive coordinator Vic Fangio at the time. They listened to the input of the players and understood what positions to put them in and how to make them their best self throughout the game. I feel like that's key. I feel like he had to trust in me as well to listen. I think that might be why he has been the way that he has been as far as listening to the players' input, which is a good thing. And we've seen that, that Staley does. He reaches out and makes sure that those lines of communication are open and creates that honesty amongst players. So that way it's like, I don't know, there's something kind of special to that yet. And I don't know how many other coaches do that, but a light's been shined on it with this coach.
He's his own breed. I think he's a very unique coach in the National Football League for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you want to go to a unique website, you can go on over to chargerchat.com and check out some of the sweet merch that we have over there. We've got stickers and hoodies and shirts, and we've got a members section where you can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right, gang. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight, and I think we've got a familiar face.
Hey, Tony!
Hey, Tony!
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and you called for it. You asked for it. You wanted more Anthony from Brooklyn, and we have Anthony from Brooklyn back to chat with us. What's going on, Anthony?
How are you? Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor. And to all the Charger fans out there like myself, you'll remember it's always about where you are and where we were as a team. And when we win a Super Bowl, we don't win it just for us here. We win it for all the people that might not even been around anymore. Yeah. And you bring that karma back and you just feel it and you make it be part of you because that's everybody's there. And I for myself, When I win it, it's not going to be that year, but it's going to be my whole life feeling that moment. And I'm sure every Charger fan is going to bring every bit of pain that we had to watch from 2006, from 1980, from the early 60s. Any bit of pain will be encompassed when that young man holds that Lombardi trophy up in the air.
I love it. You're getting me pumped up. So
everybody has done that but us.
We're going to. It's going to happen. And we're excited to have you back because a lot of people are like, man, you got to get Anthony back on because your energy, your positivity, the insight you have is so fantastic. So I thought it'd be fun to bring you back on because the Chargers just did something we haven't really done in the past. We kind of went after these big name free agency guys like Khalil Mack, JC Jackson, like some of these guys like Sebastian Day, like some of these guys that we don't do this. So I wanted to get your perspective on what it's been like in the past for you and how the Chargers have treated free agency and what you remember and what your thoughts on that.
So I want to answer the second part first, in the sense that when there were a couple of games you played, and if there was a mistake, it was called a hand-do, a do-over. You got to do over something, the ball hit this, and it was a do-over. So I see this moment as Tom Telesco said, I'll take the guy that Miami doesn't want. And to me, in year 3, that moment, he can't deny it because he took the guy Miami didn't want. Now, did he get lucky? Yeah. Did we get lucky?
Yes,
yeah. So now he knows. They know what they have. They know that they put a dollar chip in the machine and it came down jackpot. And they're going to make sure. So that's why they're going out of their way. The Raiders always had big players signing and this and that. We always stood, but now there is a window. There is a road there that is free of potholes. You need a car that's going to be able to make the distance. He's putting together the team now because they know this is their moment. It's our moment as fans, but every fan knows that it's in their ballpark. Unless I could go sign a guy, or you could go sign a guy, or somebody else. It's them to make this happen for us, and I think that they saw that. Whether they admitted to themselves or not, because if they knew what Justin Herbert was, then I trade up to get him. Trade up to get him. So, So all the other mistakes we look at the year when you talk about in the past when Bobby Betton, number 5, he takes Junior Seau. That was the beginning of the comeback for us, right? 3 years after that, we have the 3rd pick in the draft. Peyton Manning's going to be number 1. The St. Louis Cardinals, I think, or Arizona Cardinals, they have the number 2 pick. We have the number 3. He traded to go up 1 spot to take Ryan Leaf. And we didn't just move up and flip number 1s. We gave up a Metcalf and we gave up some picks. When Ryan Leaf became our QB, because they moved up to get him and we lost all those picks, he won the first 4 exhibition games. Everybody thought what we had. Right? We got a guy, and yet it just turned out to be a failure. And then even the coaching after Leaf, we couldn't get the right coaches in there. It was always a problem having the right coach to go with the team to make it all. It's as if they didn't have a plan. It's sad to say, but the organization didn't have a plan from a certain point. They had a good plan in the early 90s that Bobby Ross put together a blue-collar team, the go-to-work kind of team, guys. They really no superstars, and they made it to the show. And things got passed in between, and I just felt that they were just missing something. They were just missing something. They weren't on the right page of what, when you have a loyal fan base, you have an obligation to do the right thing for that loyal fan base. When George Steinbrenner was alive, he made sure, as a New Yorker and a Yankee fan, George Steinbrenner made sure that the Yankee organization was what it was in its heyday. he bought that team for $10 million and they laughed at him. And he built it back up. And
kind of where we are right now in the moment, a little bit of that.
Yeah. And so I said it the last time, Hispanos this is his moment. You know, you lose a Super Bowl game because of a bad call or something like that, but you got to get into that game, you got to put the ingredients together. You got to make that dish. You got to give the carpenter the tools that he needs to build that thing that you want. And I think Telesco realizes this now because everybody's going to want to win it. Denver put together. We didn't give up as much as like Denver gave up or Kansas City still has or what Oakland gave up. We have something that every Charger fan knows that give him the opportunity, give him the players around him, and beat us. If you can beat us fair and square, you beat us fair and square. I think nobody, no fan goes on, looks at their team and says, you know, we're going to lose or we're going to win because we deserve to win, and we're going to lose because they played better. Right?
No excuses. No, our roster's not strong enough. None of that this year. We're building it to let's mano a mano.
Yeah. And you know, now we got to get to that right tackle. Yep. You know, that right side can't be done by players you might think. You got to have the meat there. You got to make that offensive line worthy of the man that's standing behind that. You know, Dan Fouts had a great offensive line. And Rivers in the beginning had a great offensive line. And it paid off. This young boy, we lucked out last year. We got a great left tackle. We made the trade for the center and the left guard, seasoned veteran people. Now we got to make, hopefully the right guard comes back, put the right tackle. We need to put together a line because we're going up against great defenses now.
They see what we're doing. They're building it around it. And I wanted to get your input on the, like, you know, the past. Like, have you seen something like this before? Or we're not usually the front runners, like setting the tone for the AFC West or anything with acquisitions. What do you think of that? Like what we're doing right now?
Well, in 75, Louis Kelcher, Fred Dean, and Gary Big Hands Johnson and Billy Shields all were in that same draft. Wow. So then Fred Dean made it to the Hall of Fame, but that was a great defensive line we had there. And then we got Gilbert a couple of years later. But you know that they were drafting then the guys that they needed. They knew how to get those guys, and then we just you don't really feel it as much as any other sport as this football, that the draft really tells you what you are as a team, and whether you're trading up or trading down or picking somebody off that got cut somewhere else. That's the mark of a team doing its research and having people out there that are looking. One of the things they always said, the Chargers have this longest run of having free agent guys make the team. And it goes back to Gates. I mean, they found Antonio Gates, like, you know, they're going to the bargain basement and trying to find a rough there, right? A diamond in the rough. And they've been lucky to get these guys that are coming out of, but you can't always look for, you still got to look for the thoroughbred that's out there. You pay the money, get the thoroughbred, and you get the secretariat, and you make it happen. We got secretariat.
Yeah, we got two coming off the edge.
Yes. And we got secretariat in the quarterback position. Yeah. But so the Chargers today, I think, know that it's their moment just as much as anybody else's, but they're in control because we go on the field. Maybe the Baltimore game was the only game we really lost last year where they beat us. I thought that was the worst game they played all year. But other than that, all the other games, even the games that towards the end of the year, like the game to Houston, and is that because with COVID, COVID, a lot of guys out over there. Those are the games that we never would have lost. And yet we lost those games, and that's why we didn't get that last spot. Even the last game of the year, it was on YouTube again, and I watched it. And I watched it just to watch Herbert take the team down the field twice. and make these throws on 4th down. And to all the fans out there, you had to hear what I heard, because you always listen to the peers. You don't listen to the announcer who just is in a booth because he's got a good way of expressing the words and telling the fans. You want to hear from the people who played the game, who can understand the feeling on the field. Now, Chris Collinsworth, when I was listening to him in the last game over, how he's describing what he's seeing in Herbert, he's never seen the way of going. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th look is where he hits Eckler in the corner of the left corner of the end zone for that touchdown. Or then when he hits Mike Williams with a dart, I mean, yeah. And so, if when you're a Charger fan, I don't care where it is. When you're watching something now, it's like you're going back. You're watching everything that didn't happen before happen at the same time. The moments that happened, and it's all going to come to pass when we win that Super Bowl. Put the right guys with this kid, and they have to beat us. They have to beat us, and if they have to beat us, they have a better team. As long as the referees don't
screw us like they have in the past. We got to get some luck. We got the players. We need a little luck. We need a little bit of that little thing. The ball needs to start bouncing our way a little more. We need to get those things. So, like, what do you see? We have the infantry. We have the players. We have this team that's coming together really nicely. I'm sure they'll figure out that offensive line. What do we need to really make this a special season next year?
Sometimes I think you need a person that's been there. When I worked as a carpenter and I did a different aspect of my trade, there was always somebody there that did it before. And you could reach out to that guy and he could give you, okay, this is what you're going to look for here when you hang these walls here. This is what you're going to do here. We need somebody in that room that can show the ring. The ring will speak for itself. I know how I got that ring. We worked hard as a team. No one in football, you don't win individually, you win as a team.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need. We need a player that's been around, and that's what leaders are. And I'm hoping that there's enough enthusiasm in that room and enough understanding of what it takes to get to that point. That when you get to that point and you're in that game, you're not losing because you don't care. You're not losing because I'll wait till next year. I got my contract. No, we don't want those players. We want the players that want to win that trophy like they're little kids winning in their street corners in their backyard. That's the mentality I want. That's the players that win that, because I watched coach in Little League, and you watch them win. Even when they lose, you watch them play their best. There's gratification in that. And I think that's what we need. And I think we have some players in there now that understand that it takes everybody to win. And when they go on that field, I do not think the LA Chargers are intimidated by anybody in this league. And sometimes the referees, they have to do it the right way too. We've gotten beat over the years in some calls that still to this day say, wow, they called that against us, but people go the other way. And I'm sure there are Charger fans out there that feel the same way I do. So we go, I look at Dan Faust, the picture of Dan Faust behind you over there, and he wasn't mobile. He wasn't mobile. Here's the ball. Here's my arm. This is where my receiver's going to be. I'm going to get the ball there. If you get the ball in front of me, you get it from me, fine. I'll be back the next time. That's the will that we needed. That he wasn't afraid to throw a pick. Throwing a pick, he would say it's like a punt.
Yeah.
He threw a big 50 yard. Okay, you got the ball back there. We'll get it back. I think they scored too fast. That was their problem. They scored too fast. And then they give the defense a chance to rest. And that's what we got to stretch that field. Running back, I think we could use another running back behind Eckler. Somebody that's a little opposite the way he runs, longer legs, and making those bursts and getting yards. Where it's in the draft, or there's still free agents out there. I don't know. I go by more when I follow the the guys are younger than me on Twitter that really know the plays that are out there that'll work. Like I read on what somebody said about this guy we got as a tight end today. Yeah. They said he's like a younger version of Cook, which is, hey, the coach knows him. The coach knows him. He understands what the coach wants. Is with Khalil Mack. That's to me. That's like, you know. Now you have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa as bookends, right? They could sign another guy too.
They still have the room. Yeah, it's exciting. And then, you know, let's wrap it up with this. Just kind of want to give you an opportunity, you know, get the people listening pumped up, because your motivational like charger, just getting us ready, will just give us a little something to go out on.
So for me, I look at the Chargers. I don't gamble. So I always had that ability to be totally pure. I just root for my team to win. If they lose, they lose. I'm not happy. I don't eat when they lose. I would be 50 pounds. But I just go with the moment of you always got to take the energy of what you love. You look at all the teams that, hey, the Chicago White Sox won a World Series. The Boston Red Sox have won 3 or 4 since they beat the Yankees, broke the curse. So for the fans out there, you have to will it. You have to bring that love for your team and go out there and watch the game, and you call the game the way you see it to yourself, and you let whether it's on Twitter or emails, you let your teams know that you're watching them. Yeah. Your ownership knows that they're watching. If they're not being watched by the fans, then they don't care. But I think everybody understands now that the way the NFL is played, wide open football, they want the points on the board. You want a strong defense. If you got the players, we have the right stadium to play in. So let me give you one last thing about the luck, right? That year, 1980, the starting quarterback for the Raiders was Dan Pastorini. The Chargers' defensive line that they had demolished and broke his leg. Who comes off the bench? This guy, this number 1 pick that wasn't playing, got cut by another team. Al Davis picked up Jim Plunkett. Came off the bench. Championship game. 3rd play of the game. He throws a pass. It goes off the running back's hands. It goes into Raymond Chester's hands, goes down the field for a touchdown. That year, that rule was changed. That rule was changed where if it went from one offensive player without touching a defensive player to back to another offensive player, it was good. And who does it happen to? It happens to the Chargers. It happens to the Chargers. So it's like sometimes the luck doesn't catch up with you, but you got to build up all those bad lucks in you to one day cash them all in for one good luck. To all the Charger fans out there, I follow you, I read you, and you give me inspiration because I learn a lot from the younger fans that are out there. I give them the yesterday, and they give me the today. And that's how everything works.
Awesome. Well, let's keep it rolling, man. Let's definitely talk again. Thank you so much again, Anthony.
I'll watch you this week. God bless. And everybody, go Chargers.
Tony, what a great sentiment, man.
So good. Yeah. Luck, dude. Just cash in some of these bad luck chips.
Cash in some bad
luck. Get one of those big-ass luck chips.
Tony I'll go all in, dude. I'll go all in right now. Yeah.
Tony will give us yesterday. We'll give him today.
I love it.
That's
a good quote.
It's a great sentiment, Tony. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and chatting with Kev. Always a pleasure having you on, man. When we're listening to this, I'm just grinning from ear to ear, man, because you just bring such a life to the past. Like you bring such clear memories and just it's just so much fun to listen to, dude. Love having you on.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. All right, well, now it's time to go on to Fan Focus, and I did not know that this guy was sitting in my backyard.
Yeah.
Nobody told me this.
Boise, Idaho.
Frickin' Tyler Dubb in Boise, Idaho. What are you doing? Where you been all my life? Well, let's see where he is. He's Fan Focus. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus. We got a special one this week. We have Tyler from Idaho. What is going on, Tyler?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good, man. Super pumped to have you. You did something very special recently, and we will get to that. But before that, we want to find out, how did you become a Charger fan?
My aunt, she lived in the southern Los Angeles area, and I guess it's just like got like every year of my life, it seems like I've been to LA just occasionally. So I always felt like my team was going to be from there. Like, my dad is from Wisconsin, so he's a Packers fan. Obviously, I didn't really want to go his route. I wanted to go my own way,
Sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you been following the team?
I've been following the team since 2015, 2016-ish.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's an exciting time, man. There's a lot of exciting things happening. And a couple years ago, we drafted a very exciting quarterback, and you very recently flew out and got to meet the one and only Justin Herbert. So, dude, we want to know, what was that like? Walk us through what happened.
All right. So I don't know. As my Make-A-Wish, it was to meet him eventually. And then I was just told, like, okay, you're going to catch football from him. You're going to spend some time with him. I didn't know how much. And then Make-A-Wish kind of just got me to the Chargers practice facility. And then we got a tour. And then first, I didn't even expect this, but I got to meet Tom Telesco, the general manager.
Sweet.
Like, we were just walking around, then we go to his office. He's watching film. And I'm just like, and he comes with this contract for me to sign. And I was just like in total shock at that moment. Like, nice. I couldn't find words to say.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then when we got to the locker room to meet Herbert, he was just kind of like standing around the corner. And I'm like, okay, I thought this dude would be bigger since it was like from a distance away. Then he just like walks around and he's just like, hey guys, what's up? And like, it's just this giant, like just towering over me.
That's awesome.
And it's just, I don't know. I was speechless at the time, but he's a super awesome guy. Like, those pre-draft concerns that he was this introvert, this shy guy, those aren't true. He was very outgoing, very socializing. He spent around 45 minutes in total talking to me and stuff. He was just very kind. He got my jersey signed. He got a helmet signed for me. And overall, it was just like the best experience of my life.
Dude, that sounds so amazing. Like, I would have been nervous as all hell to walk into that locker room knowing he was in there. So, like, what were you feeling like as they were like taking you down to the locker room to meet him?
It was just like, we were just kind of like walking in. Oddly enough, like, so Shane Day, the quarterback's coach, right?
Yeah.
He just like walked outside the locker room with his water bottle, and he's just like, oh, excuse me. And he's just like walked out of the way.
Nice.
and so that was kind of funny. And then we just walked in, and like, it was kind of the big events leading up to it. There were people like just smiling at me, and I smiled back at them. And it just felt so far away, like how far we actually were from him. Cause I was just nervous. Like, I was like, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And like, then it's just, he comes out, he shakes my hand, and it's just like, he treated me as if I was a normal person. Like, obviously you knew he was that star quarterback. He was like this superstar player and this high level player, but I felt like I connected with him as like a big brother kind of character. Like,
that's cool, man. That's awesome. We're so pumped for you. That's an amazing experience. And that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about, Chargers, what we've done, man. We've picked up some really awesome players in the last couple of days. So who's been like the standout for you? Who are you most excited for?
I am most excited for Khalil Mack because like the day before I left for Los Angeles, we traded for him. So that was pretty funny. And I remember I met with Tom Telesco before the contract. He made a joke. He was just like, I didn't want to give you too big of a contract considering we just traded for Khalil Mack. So
nice. That's awesome.
Oddly enough, like some of the free agents we signed this year, I kind of saw like on Tom Telesco's whiteboard in the background. Like I saw their names listed, so I kind of knew ahead of time. Like,
did you really? That's crazy. He wasn't like like trying to hide it from everyone. It was just like Khalil Mack, JC Jackson. They were all up there.
Yeah, and it was in certain positions too. There was like along with Jackson, there was Gilmore. Obviously, that's kind of a long shot now.
Yeah,
just
we got the best. We got the better of the two, in my opinion. So
yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, dude. So awesome, man. Well, hey, dude, it was such a pleasure meeting you, Tyler. Thank you so much for taking the time to come meet with us and chat and share your story. Cause we're living vicariously through you, how cool it was to meet Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's like, this is a really nice experience. Like I've never really been on a podcast before. So
you did awesome, man. Well, we're pumped. Super glad to have you. And we'll check back in, in the future, and let's keep the communication going, man. We're going to have an exciting season.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Tyler.
All right. See you.
Well, shoot, Tyler, I don't think you're old enough, but I think I need to take you out for a beer. I think one of these days, man, what a great story. And it's just nice to hear that the organization is taking care of people like Tyler and giving him an opportunity to meet people like Justin Herbert. And I love he's like, it doesn't look that big. And then, hi, Mr. Herbert.
Hi. Yeah, that was awesome. And it sounded like it couldn't have happened to a better guy. He sounded
absolutely.
He was, that's the kind of energy, man. Like I would have done the exact same thing, had the same kind of feeling. So
big time.
Good on him. And I'm glad he got to do that. And I'm pumped for him.
Absolutely. And I can just see him like, looking at Twitter going like, signed say JC Jackson. Knew it. Yeah,
Knew it.
Big news. Old news, guys. Come on. Give me something new. Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tyler, thank you. Thank you for coming on, buddy, and chatting with Kev. It's great to hear your story. And I'm definitely following you on Twitter, buddy. I love seeing because I think Tyler's got some shamelessly positive takes on Twitter, and I like seeing that for our Charger fans.
You know it.
Gotta love it here at Charger Chat. So, all right, gang. Well, now it is time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam. Let's go. Who's my big boy?
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
All right. Well, we start Ask Boltfam with an old favorite of ours, Nick. Who asked the question?
Well, nice.
Dear Chargers organization, I've been sitting in a shitty Vegas bar all weekend with 3 creeps talking to me about the moves you guys have been making, and quite frankly, it makes me sick. Why do you guys have to do so fucking much to bolster your defense? It's so unfair. We had enough of a hard time coping with you last year. Now you go in and check some Mr. Interception, Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson, and Khalil Mack? Why? Big Bad Joey B will be like a kid with a sugar rush fucking zipping across the field. I guess the days of double and triple teaming that behemoth of a human being are over. He's gonna sniff me out and like a gangsty teenager finding the free Wi-Fi. I want my mommy. And Kyle, where are you? Save me. Tell them more of those lies about Justin being worse than me. It made me feel a little better in these dark times. The dark times starting from the day I signed with this desperate, sorry-ass organization. I also need to sign a life insurance policy with this upcoming season. I should probably get on that. I don't want to leave my wife with nothing. Really, Chargers? Are you going to add any more pieces to your defense and free agency or the draft? Oh, please say no. I can't take it anymore. Yours unfaithfully, Derek. Please, can I sleep in your car?
Oh, Nick.
Nick. Yes, it's true. He should probably get a life insurance policy to be safe.
I would insure some body parts at the very least, but
leave something behind for the family.
But let's see. Are we going to add any more pieces in for the defense in free agency or the draft?
I think more pieces are coming. I don't think any more big pieces are coming.
No more big boys. No more big pieces.
I think it's going to be filler.
Little pieces.
Little baby pieces. You're so cute. Yeah, I think. That was another thing we saw today. Kyler Fackrell going to the frickin' Raiders. Like, just
Justin Jones is gone. Justin Jones.
Yeah, Justin Jones went to the Bears.
Yeah, like we talk about, like he is reshaping this defense.
Yeah, big time.
It's just fully reshaping it.
Yeah.
So hey, he knows what he wants to do. So in Staley, I trust.
In Staley, we trust. Absolutely, Nick. Great to hear from you, buddy. Let's move it on now to DeMarcus Cut Your Ass Up.
Certified fresh.
Who asks the question?
Thanks for making my commute to and from work more enjoyable, guys. My question is, there's always one player, no matter how much we love them at the beginning of the season, that fails to meet our expectations. For example, last year it was K9 or CHJ for a lot of fans. If you have to pick one player that you think will have a mediocre or bad season, who would you pick? And jam your thumb right up that butthole. That's what you do.
Shit.
This is weird. I don't know how to answer this. Like,
I don't know how to shamelessly positively
How do we
answer
spin
this question.
this? How do we spin this?
I don't.
It's got to be a spin.
How about somebody you're not expecting? Let's flip it around. Somebody that you're not really thinking about that might have a big year.
I think.
I mean, that's not answering the question.
That's not really answering the question. I mean,
question.
so I think that's what's interesting is that we saw some guys that had some down years. CHJ is definitely not coming back. K9 has to come back because he's still on contract. So I think, if anything, we might see some improvement with him.
It can't go much lower than what he did last year. So definitely room for a lot of improvement.
Yeah, DeMarcus, I don't know if you've listened to this before. I know you're certified fresh, but we keep it shamelessly positive over here at the Charger Chat. So it's tough for us to think of who's going to have a mediocre or bad
Who are we
season.
excited about that's going to perform poorly?
I don't have one.
I don't know. I can't think of who's going to perform poorly. Like,
They're all going to have career years. Maybe
this is going to be the year.
Yeah, this is the best team of all time.
Of all time. DeMarcus, I'm sorry, but we can't think of anybody that's going to have a mediocre or bad season. But thank you for asking
Sorry
the question.
for not answering that. We totally copped out of that one.
Honestly, like, it's just tough to think of, like, who could have a bad season. Like, I just don't know.
I would have never guessed that Kenneth Murray or Chris Harris would have had bad years like they did. So, like, I don't know how to guess that.
And I don't even want to throw the
Don't you put that bad
there.
juju on me, Ricky Bobby.
I don't
want
want
to
juju.
I don't want to put it out there.
I'm not slinging juju. Okay, I'm not slinging bad juju.
Not
on
today,
anybody.
not tomorrow, not ever.
Stay clear.
All right, DeMarcus, cut your ass up. Thank you for asking the question. Don't cut our ass
Don't
up.
cut us.
Please.
Sorry,
we didn't answer
properly.
So just we're sorry. Let's move it on now to Bollywood Herbert. And shout out to FNUVP. You guys pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Bollywood Herbert because I like that name. And it goes like this. Lest we forget, in college, Derek Carr made Devontae Adams look worse than Sammy Watkins, Kelvin Benjamin, Marquise Lee, Jordan Matthews, Paul Richardson. Adams was the 9th wide receiver taken. Oops, I forgot I was supposed to ask a question. What's your least favorite thing about Derek Carr?
That is a really good point.
That is a great point.
Yes. For those that didn't see, Devontae Adams signed with the Raiders. And so I don't know.
He's not going to be the guy he was in Green Bay.
I don't think so, man.
No.
It's impossible.
It doesn't have
Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr are not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, Kyle Brandt might have something to argue about that, but it's absolutely not.
Yeah. And our least favorite thing about Derek Carr,
his fucking face.
Jeez. Nice. I hate that doesn't he wear a shooting sleeve sometime that like he wears like long sleeves?
Yeah,
no,
maybe.
Am I off?
I don't know.
That.
Could be.
I feel like, let me look. Kevin, you answer. Let me look.
I'd say it's like lack of manliness. Like this. Yeah. I'd say more also like just kind of have like the softy bitchy vibes that I get from him.
That's what I was going to say. Like when
softy bitchy.
The times that I've seen him in those post-interview games and he's just like whining or complaining or trying to throw the blame on something else. It's just like, come on, buddy. Like, I don't know if we just got lucky with, guys like Phillip Rivers and Justin Herbert who are just fucking stand-up guys that don't do that kind of shit. That like when I see it, like any inkling of it, I'm just like, ew, come on.
Dude, it's perfect. He's a Raider. He's perfect. No,
I know.
Okay, so I found an article about the shooting sleeve, and I want to retract that statement because he does in fact wear a shooting sleeve, but it's to honor the late great Kobe Bryant.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Power to you, wear the arm sleeve. I hate your mascara.
One of the worst.
Yeah, the mascara business is like, what is wrong
eyeliner,
with you? Like,
no bueno.
Like I said,
just fix it,
face.
dude. Yeah,
just fix it.
That's like somehow find a way to fix it. You have plenty of money, fix it. Yeah,
fix it.
All right.
Real.
Good question.
Bollywood Herbert and FNUVP.
And bringing us some knowledge too. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
kind of reframed it for me a little bit.
Yeah, great breakdown.
Yeah, that does. There. Yeah, this is not going to be a good thing for Devontae Adams whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
No. You got paid a shit ton of money.
Right.
He gets to go hang out with his boyfriend, but he's not going to catch as many footballs.
Right. So he'll have fun, but he won't win.
No, he's not winning.
Don't have too much fun in Vegas.
All right, let's move it on now to Gruder McBolt, who asked the question.
Whoa! Hey, yes, sir, the Lord has blessed us today. He put the Holy Spirit in a man named Tom Telesco. Now, this man, Tom, oh, Lord, Tom, in the past, he has been the evil, the insipid, the cheapskate. Oh, but not today. Oh, but not today. Today is a new day in the eyes of the Lord. Today we see a man dig deep, way down deep into the depths of hell to pull out the salary cap and squeeze out every last and holy money. Yes, this man has done the improbable, the impossible, the oh my gosh, magical assemblage of star power that shines so bright it blinds the good Lord in the face. And this man was not done on day one. No, sir. He kept the building. He made us a roster out of sheer will and ferocity. And on the seventh day of free agency, he said, let there be Tyrann Mathieu. And then he rested, bitches. Hey, love you. Bye.
Wowzers.
That was a great script.
What a script, Gruder. That was good, man.
Great
Holy
delivery
shit.
and great script.
Great script.
Performance.
This guy grew up in a gospel, a Baptist,
he's
Southern Baptist.
Well, he gave me good cues, like today. Like he actually wrote like UH. Yeah, he wrote the yeah on it. So.
We all know Adam is reads off the prompter.
So thank God.
Ron Burgundy.
WoolDog.
Ron Burgundy. Yeah. That's not a open invitation for everybody to just write.
Oh, sorry,
terrible
dude.
things.
Yeah, that's coming.
All right. Well, Tyrann Mathieu is a name that has floated around the lips of Charger fans as a possibility to pick up. And I mean, with the way that like Khalil Mack's only hitting like 8 million to the cap, and we've got about 15.
It seems like he should get, like JC Jackson and Derwin should get on the phone and be like, dude, just come for like a year.
Yeah, come on.
Let's just hang out.
We're gonna have so much fun,
dude. We can have sleepovers. Like we can do all kinds of fun activities. Just come hang out.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to see. I don't know if he fits the scheme or the pocket.
It would be an embarrassment of riches, is what it would be. It would be, that's a lot of serious. 3 Pro Bowlers and one backfield.
One defense, that would be
that's
crazy.
crazy.
That would be pretty wild.
The safety position right now is Alohi Gilman, Nasir Adderley, and Derwin James. Those are the 3 we got on the roster currently.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be good for Nas if that happened.
No, but I mean, as we've been talking about, we're building the depth. We've got to have depth in some of those positions, and that would that secondary would just be insane if that was the case.
Yeah. The course correction would be like, wow, they're really doing whatever Staley wants.
Everything. Yeah. So we'll find out, Gruder McBolt, but thank you for asking the question and the script. Appreciate it. And let's move it on now to William Bordwick.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question.
Was a Browns fan, but wasn't going to rock with a team that could bring somebody like Watson in, so I jumped ship to the Chargers. Seems like a team with an awesome vibe. What are some of the best people that cover the team so I can dive all the way in?
Nice.
Just get in
Like
there. Welcome.
it. Welcome.
Can
Yes.
we call you Bill? William, can we call you Bill? Is that okay?
William, Bill,
This
what's the preference?
This is a big time compliment, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
There's a
absolutely.
lot of fan bases that like, this guy's like, should I be a Raider fan? He's like, that might not even cross his mind.
Might
Because they're
not.
just such pieces of crap. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But we are
Floaters.
just warm and welcoming and gentle and sweet. All of those things, right? Right,
Well,
boys?
the
We look you in
Chargers
the eyes when we're doing it.
bet those baby blues at us. Well, there was a chart that I saw. This was months ago that about how like it was basically a graph of all the teams and how many arrests they've had. You know, whether it's DUIs and shit
Yeah.
like that. And the Chargers are zero. Like there are just no bad guys on this team. Like everybody is a stand-up dude. So yeah,
I wonder what the this is a good question. I wonder what the Twitter community and like the fan base, if they were ranked, where we would be on arrests. Because I feel like Charger fans are pretty wholesome, good
Yes.
people that want to bring you into the fold and have a good time.
Absolutely.
This is a good time to become a Charger fan. Like we are, it's the beginning of something brand new. We moved out of San Diego a little while ago. We're building a new fan base.
Mhm.
Just, dude, bring them. Let's go. Let's fill the stadium up. Let's get a home field advantage. That's what I want.
I think this question could be best answered by Kevin. He's more involved in the Twitterverse and social for us. Who should William go follow?
You follow, I think you got Chargers, obviously. Follow
Right.
Jen Mills.
Jen Mills, 100%.
Yeah,
Popper.
follow Diehard Bolt
Popper,
Club.
yeah.
Popper, Diehard Bolt Club guys are great. There's just so many good ones. If you get into like that little group, you'll start seeing posts of like
You'll get a lot of
giveaways and just
suggestions, yeah.
involvement and meetups and hangouts. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
But
it's
I'd
just
say Daniel Popper is the best like reporter that gives
Popper
quick
for sure.
on timely news
Yes.
of the actual like reporters that you should follow.
Yeah.
And there was a switch out. Like there was a couple guys that have moved on to other positions this year. I know there were a couple reporters,
Couple
So,
beat reporters.
I
Yeah.
would go Daniel Popper, and then there's a great podcast.
There's a bunch of
ton
of
out.
them.
There's
ton
a
of
ton.
podcasts. Yeah.
So it's like you just pick your poison, whatever
Yeah.
you if you want to
Stick your foot in.
be silly as and hang out with us. Like that's also
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah.
So
We're not necessarily the most informative podcast if you've gone this far.
Here
Coach,
and there.
that's why we have
we-
Coach.
yeah.
We have
Coach
a
can
gym
talk
here and there.
football.
Coaches
we got Craig. Craig knows a little football also.
Absolutely. But we're definitely more about having fun and staying shamelessly
Yeah.
positive over here. So there's
That's
a
how we
lot
roll.
of podcasts to go check
There's not
out.
a lot of research. There's whatever wealth of information I have, I'm willing to give.
There's a
but
lot of shooting from the hip, you know.
there's a lot. There's a lot of
Shoot
shooting
first,
You'll
ask
get some
questions later.
coach gyms every once in a while. You'll get some
Yeah.
good shit in there. for sure.
Absolutely. But yes, absolutely welcome and just dive into Twitter and you will have a good time. We will definitely welcome you with open arms. So
Thank you for joining us.
thank you for joining us, William or Bill, whichever.
Bill,
you know, hey,
if we can call you Bill, if that's
if we've
okay.
if we've reached that point in the relationship and we can
Just
call
let
you
us-
Bill, you
let
just
us
let
know.
us know. We're not
If not,
pushing
we'll
it.
William is fine, but
Stick
we'd
with
like to call you
William,
Bill.
yeah.
All right, let's move on now to House of Hain. Who asked the question?
All right.
Man, do we have the strongest division in football? At least 3 teams in the West have a QB. F you, Carr. What is everyone's beard care routine? I can't let my goatee get longer than 3 inches without major work every morning, so I just cut it with a number 4. Less work. K. Love you, bye.
I'm not the one to ask. There's some good beards on the show. I'm not a good beard.
You don't have any beard care?
I put
You
some,
don't
I put
care for
some-
your beard?
I put some soap and some softening stuff in it, but it's
Hand soap.
There you go. That's what he
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
know.
exactly. Lather up with Vaseline. It's pretty nice.
Do you have to cut it back in any certain areas?
Just under the chin, just a little trim.
Yeah,
trim.
yeah.
Sure,
I got
sure.
a little patch of these grays that are just being little bitches right now. And I just gotta
I don't
go
know anything about that.
surgically remove
Tweeze
them.
them.
Just
I know nothing about that.
but they grow back so fast. Yours looks cool. Yours is like a racing
Yeah,
stripe.
yours is part of it.
You
Yeah,
got like
yeah,
a
it's
white
part of the
racing
design.
stripe on your
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah.
Part of the design.
It's part of
Adam Woolley
It
stayed
really
at my
ties
house
the
when-
room together.
Dude, you had a
this-
beard when you were like 16.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rad. You've
when
rocking a
Adam
beard.
came and stayed with us when we went to one of the first game of the season, the Cowboys game. And when I saw
Oh,
his
right.
beard care routine, I was shocked.
Step your game
Let me
up.
tell you.
Yeah, it's there's definitely some washing. I use some beard wash. I put a little oil in.
This is amazing.
And I let the oil sit for a little bit, just kind of soak into the hairs, and then I get a hair dryer and a round brush, and I kind of curl it in, kind of keeps it nice and straight and rounded, near the bottom. So
I wish I needed to do that. I really do.
My biggest issue is the mustache. Like, if it gets too long, I'm just like, it gets into food and shit like that. I think it looks great when it's long, but it, like, eating and drinking is like a mess. Yeah, you got to like. I remember my dad, because my dad has a beard as well. He would like have to like part the Red Sea with his mustache whenever he was like drinking something or something like that. It's so weird.
That's awesome.
All right, well, there you go, House of Hain. Thanks, you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Kyle T, who asked the question.
Great name.
And shout out to Ciro Rosales. You guys pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Kyle T. So here we go. The Chargers have a hole at right tackle. Which option should be used to fill it? Signing a free agent right tackle like Darrell Williams or Dennis Kelly, drafting a right tackle in the first round, flipping the number 17 pick and a couple late rounders for a proven right tackle and second round pick. As always, remember to bolt the fuck up. K, love you, bye.
I still think it's the way things are going right now. Like some of the guys that just got snatched by other teams, we're not aggressive at right tackle right now. It's just not something in our plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little concerned that they're probably a bit more okay with Storm Norton and Trey Pipkins than a lot of us are. And I think they're going to take a shot in the draft. I think if Penning's there, he's going to be our right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think right now it's the draft. And if that doesn't pan out, then they'll go try to get somebody. Because I don't know. I don't think you tender your starting right tackle, right? Like Storm Norton, they did not put on a long-term contract. It doesn't sound like they have a lot of faith in him. They put him on because there's nobody else there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I think the draft is the plan. And if that doesn't work out, if that guy's not there in the first, then they go try to make something happen.
And then I think somebody was saying that like Filer also plays right tackle, but man,
Popper said that. Yeah.
Don't mess with it. The guy's a stud.
Yeah,
just
keep him at guard.
Do what he's great at. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But all right,
we have a hole at right guard right now too. So it don't make
that is another surprising thing. I'm surprised Ibushi hasn't come back, and I don't know if he will. But
maybe they're keeping an eye on his rehab and how he's recovering.
Yeah, I haven't heard if he's out of rehab or if he's still doing it, but we'll find out. But Kyle T and Ciro Rosales, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Staley's Nuts and Bolts. Shout out to Chris M. You guys asked the same question. Going with Staley's Nuts and Bolts. Here we go.
I am not fat. I am Big Bang. Speaking of fat, though, Staley has been marching his fat fucking balls into TT's office every fucking day and telling him to write another fat fucking check. When in the hell is TT gonna sign a fucking right tackle so that we don't have to worry about our fucking quarterback dying? I really hope he doesn't plan on rolling with fucking Pipkins. Fuck. He's going with fucking Pipkins, isn't he? KW bye. Oh, fuck you, Cal. And fuck the Raiders, too.
All right.
Screw you, Cal.
Screw you, Cal.
There's a lot of questions about right tackle, but at least in this one, specifically talking about Pipkins, like
I'm worried. I'm worried that they have plans for him again in the future.
Up to your face, you were like, it was like somebody just farted in your face. You're like, I'm worried, guys. I can't think straight.
Yeah.
I mean, the games that he had to play, we gave him a little bit of praise. He had a minor redemption.
But then he also pulled one time in like the beginning of the season and got embarrassed.
That was the beginning of the season.
And
that was his character arc. He grew.
And Frank Smith is gone. His new offensive line coach. So
right, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a plan. We don't know what it is.
And Staley, I trust.
In Staley, we trust.
We trust.
We trust.
There's no I in team. There's a upside down we.
Yeah, I don't think Pipkins is the right tackle plan. I think he's the backup left tackle, and kind of a don't get hurt Rashawn Slater.
Storm Norton's a starter right now. That's that.
Yeah, they're not going to change. I don't know why they would change that with the roster that we have right now.
Right.
Storm Norton would be the guy if we were playing tomorrow. So
right.
Yeah.
So
it'll get addressed.
Yeah, we'll have I think a clear idea after the draft. Penning is a possibility, but if we end up not going that route or that direction, there's like Tom Telesco said, there's still opportunity in the free agency, even after the draft, to pick
even
some
after the
guys up.
season starts.
Even after the season starts. Absolutely. We're not shy from doing that either. So Staley's Nuts and Bolts and Chris M, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Z the King 1, who asked the question. With our current offensive line situation and the recent post by Papa that Filer can also play right tackle, what is the best case scenario that you guys can imagine for our offensive line before the start of the season? Also, nobody has signed Kyzir White yet. I know Staley's system doesn't really value linebackers, but do you think there's a chance we can bring him back? Ooh, this came out before.
You want to, but that's not technically like, if you believe it, it's gone.
Okay.
If you
Are we
believe that,
playing
it's
like
not
Peter Pan rules right
photoshopped.
now?
Yeah, if it's not photoshopped.
That was kind of a leaked conversation that we are putting our trust in.
Privy to, yeah.
I think it would have got done if it was going to get done.
Right.
For the offensive line, my hope is that O'Day is recovering and we can sign him to another 1 year, 2 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we draft our starting right tackle. But to me, that would be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And Hymus is,
Hymus
is there too, right? Yeah.
We'll see where he's at after a year and getting bigger and stronger in the offseason. It's just the right side of the line. That's what we need to work on. That's my biggest concern right now. And
we also need a backup center now. Questenberry signed with
the
Texans.
So I think there's going to be some solid amount of offensive linemen drafted this year. And I think there could be a couple early ones.
It could be exciting. We'll find out. But Z the King 1, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Pink Unicorn, who asked the question.
Well, that was the most intense start to Bolt's free agency I can remember. Ninja Tommy just got upgraded to SWAT Team Tommy. He's kicking down the door and rushing in, guns blazing. Did Staley start dropping testosterone into TT's coffee, or did Staley just straight up steal his phone and stop making his own moves? Anyway, with the right side of the O-line looking like the one glaring need on the team, do you guys think we shore it up in free agency or go O-line or bust in the draft? As always, f*** Dan Orlovsky, Cam Hayward, and Kyle Brandt. K, love you, boy.
All right. Well, I think this is great because I just love the idea of Staley coming in, stealing his phone and like texting everybody, being like, give me Khalil Mack. Give me this guy.
It's kind of like a bull in a china shop. He's not very ninja-y right now. He's just like running into a room and goring people.
I don't know. The only one that was expected was the JC Jackson because there was so much connection. But other than that, like no one saw the other moves coming.
No, not even a little bit.
No. And that's what I think was also enlightening about his interview on Pat McAfee was him. That was the one thing was like saying that like, hey, we've got the money now, so we can do this.
Yeah.
Like,
this
has all
dead
been
money
planning.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So it is
he also
different than what we've seen.
I'll end it on this. He had cool insight. Go listen to the interview because he talked about how like these people are moving these contracts around. It's going to catch up to you. Like sooner or later, it will catch up to you.
Bite you right in the dick.
You can't manipulate it. It's not just disappearing. You're just pushing it off to the future.
Right. Yeah. That'll be interesting to see with some of these teams that are doing this kind of movement. How it's going to catch up. I thought it was going to catch up to the Saints this year because like they were over like 100 million over the cap. It was just like there's no way.
I love that credit card analogy. It's like you're going to have to pay this at some point. The interest rate's just going to keep going up and up.
So we'll see what happens. But Pink Unicorn, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to CD, who asked the question. If you could have one question that you have always wanted answered that's non-football related, what would it be? Example. How were the pyramids made? Or is the Loch Ness Monster real? Mine is, what the fuck do you think is in Area 51? I need to know. All right, a question, non-football related, that we would love to have answered.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of JFK documentaries lately.
I knew you were going to say that.
I want to know what happened to JFK. And there's like greater thing like how was this world made? Like all that. There's like a lot of deeper questions, but JFK conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I think that would blow a lot of doors.
What was it?
down.
It was at the end of The Rock when they remember at the very end, the tag into that movie where they like go to some church in the middle of nowhere and the answer to who killed JFK was in some pew. Remember that? Like was pretty sweet. That kind of got me going. The Rock.
The Rock. Welcome to The Rock. I would say I would love to see, like, if dinosaurs were really, you know, the color and look that they are, or how much we really extrapolate from, like,
just what Steven Spielberg thinks dinosaurs are.
Yeah, like are they really, like, you know, pink, you know, like bubble gum, or like do they have
just
like,
gray?
Right, and do they have like long wavy hair? Like I want to, I want to see what did these dinosaurs really look like. So there you go. Anything different there, Kyle?
What you got, Coach?
No, I don't know. I think my question would be something like Kevin had kind of joked about. It would be something about like the creation of the world and that kind of thing.
Go see if Jesus was really as cool as he was, or if he was just a big dick.
How cool, I'd like to see what the wedding was like when he turned water into wine.
Yeah. I'd love to see him walk on water.
Yeah, give me some of that wine. Let me taste that.
What's the vintage on this?
This is a little watered
Jesus.
down.
Come on.
Yeah.
What's the
God of the universe?
What's the percentage of this wine? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
drunk here. Come
trying
on,
to get 3
Jesus.
sheets to the wind here, Jesus.
Hit us with a Zinfandel, Jesus.
I mean, listen,
is this
it's
a
good
rosé?
bread.
Yeah.
Is this a rosé?
I got no complaints about the fish and the bread, but come
the
on.
miracle's incredible, but come on. Better taste. Jesus.
Walk on water over here, all right?
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. CD, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Scotty B63, who asked the question.
Has there been any mention of a legitimate RB2 to back up Austin Eckler this coming season? I've not seen or heard anything official about this position. Bolt up, K-Levy, bye.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything.
We have a lot of running backs on our team right now. I think that's what we all kind of need to remember. We have a couple guys that we drafted pretty high on this roster
Kelly,
still. That I think they're going to rely on one of these guys to hopefully step up and be his RB2, because Rashad Penny's gone. Like some of the guys that we were kind of looking at.
I really thought Cordell Patterson was going to come, but he re-signed with the Falcons.
That sucked. That
sucked. It's that time of year when we get our hopes set pretty high on free agency, and I mean,
that's why we don't really.
I know we came out of the gate so strong, like holy shit, we got J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack, and then we
opened up
seeing,
it was like Christmas morning. We opened up our presents so fast. We're sitting there like,
there's nothing to do the rest of the day. Yeah,
exactly. More present.
Yeah, come on. I think there's still a couple running back options out there. I think Leonard Fournette is still floating around. That could be
that
a
guy's
possibility.
His fucking energy is not a Charger.
Oh, is it? I don't know anything about his personality.
Just a little drama around. It doesn't seem like the kind of guy we would have. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's still some names floating around out there. We've got guys. Maybe they can get better. Maybe we'll see. But Scotty B63, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Okie Doggy, who asked the question.
Do the Packers hate us and Rodgers? Like, what the hell? They could have got more from any other team, but because we have been signing players from their team, they thought it would be funny to trade Adams to his ex-college teammates' team. In any case, what is the minimum number of wins do you guys think it would take to win the division, baby? Also, what do you guys want to happen at running back? Do you guys want the team to sign Jackson, have them go after a seasoned vet like Michelle and Murray, or would you guys want them to get a running back in the draft like Breece Hall, baby?
All right. In order, minimum amount of wins to win the division.
13.
13. That's kind of what I was thinking too.
I think 12.
I think 12 might be cutting it too close.
I think our teams are going to be taking L's. We're not going to have a runaway team. It's going to be a battle for the AFC West. Like I think 12 is going to get you it. So I think these guys are going to.
Possible.
I think a lot of these, except for the Raiders, are going to lose pretty much everything. But I think a lot of us could split. Like there's a lot of splits happening here. KC is no longer running around just sweeping teams.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think 13. I still think it's going to take 13.
That's a shit ton.
12 or 13, I think it is.
How many did
solid.
Kansas City win this year? 13?
13.
Or 12?
Like,
they were 12 and 5?
I can't remember.
Yeah, don't care about the Chiefs at all.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Let's stop looking at the past. Let's look to the future. So, and then as far as running back situation, I mean, that's another name, Sony Michel. That could be a possibility. I mean,
I would prefer a veteran come in, even if it's a lower name guy, then try to draft another one because we've had real poor success with drafting running
Right.
backs. I
Yeah.
mean, even our star running back we didn't draft. He was a free agent.
Yeah.
Didn't get drafted.
Or just go find some undrafted dude. Find some diamond in the rough and put him.
Yeah, because that's just so
undrafted
easy.
backfield, right?
So easy.
We're so good at it. We do it all the time. It's easy for the Chargers.
Come on, Tommy T.
Yeah, the undrafted backfield.
All right, there you go, Okie Doggy. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Ricky, who asked the question.
Kyle, if you were the head coach of the Chargers this year, what are you telling the guys to motivate them during an all-in type of season? Great Scott! Kevin, if you had a time machine, which Charger season would you want to relive?
Which Charger player, WoolDog, can you impersonate the best?
All right. Ricky, always asking 3 questions, 3 voices. Son of a
Ricky
bitch.
3 fingers.
Ricky 3 fingers.
All right, Kyle, what are you telling your team to get them hyped up, get them motivated?
Don't mess this up. It's like, come on,
That's
we
a
have
coach I can get behind.
it's like we have the guys. Don't do anything dumb. Be on, like, let's all go all, like, commit, be all in, and I don't like, this isn't a team you should have to motivate. You have to motivate crap teams that no one's expecting anything of them. This is a team that should be in, like we saw in Vegas, the odds for them to win the Super Bowl are up there in the top 10 of teams in the league. So it's like,
absolutely.
You shouldn't have to do a whole lot of hoorah for these guys.
All right. Kevin.
Also, I'm a little sick right now, so motivational speeches aren't really in my.
He doesn't quite have the energy.
We all appreciate Coach. He's hanging in there with the flu right now. So
this is my flu. This is my Michael Jordan flu game.
It's
right
your flu
now.
game, yeah. Dude, putting up some points.
Yeah.
All right, Kev. What season are you traveling back in time to revisit?
I consider myself more of a Biff Tannen. Like, I want to go back and with the past a little bit here and make myself a happier person. So I'm going to go back and just, like, basically not let Marlon McCree out of his hotel room to play that
poison, like food poisoning.
I'm gonna do something to him.
Good.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And then
we would have won the Super Bowl that year for sure.
Yeah, and then while I'm at it, I'll take a sports almanac back with me and put money on some futures.
There you go.
Tom Brady to become the greatest quarterback of all time when he's drafted.
That's the kind of thing. So I Biff Tannen this bitch up for sure.
All right. And a Charger player that I can impersonate the best. I don't know. Like I never consider myself what's that?
Who's got like the most intense voice that could be easily imitated?
Most intense? I don't know. They're all pretty like
distinct,
chill dudes. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on them because I don't consider myself an impersonationist. Like I'm more of a voice actor, but with all of you guys asking for voices, it's like it's slowly becoming my career. So I might as well just accept it. So
just embrace it, WoolDog.
Yeah,
just embrace
I think
it.
I'm just gonna have to embrace it. I think I'll work on my Joey Bosa. He's got a pretty distinguishable voice. He's got that, I don't really want to try.
We're working on it.
We'll work on it,
determined.
Ricky. But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to him. Who asked the question? Which position do the Chargers need to fill at 17?
Right
Jordan
tackle.
Davis or right tackle.
You don't need it. You're not going to take a linebacker in that spot. You're not going to take a guard in that spot.
Right.
We've already solidified a lot of the defensive line. So if they're high on Jordan Davis, go there. But I think right tackle.
If you like Game of Thrones and you want a mountain, go get Jordan Davis, and then that would be my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Or right tackle.
Yeah. It's hard to tell when you're at 17. Like you're seeing these mock drafts of other teams and what they're picking up. It's like I'm shocked how many tackles are in this draft because I saw like 4 or 5 tackles go before penning. And I was like, Jesus, I can't even believe it's that deep. But
there's a lot.
Apparently there's a lot.
This is a free-for-all year, man. This is not the easiest year to try and
This is not last year's 2 years ago Chargers. We're taking a quarterback. Just depends on which one type of thing.
This is like a college bracket. Like if you hit this, you're like a billionaire. Like the odds of picking everyone correct.
But you can't just go out there and tweet 400 decisions and say you got it right.
So number 342 nailed it.
Yeah.
Possibility.
Let's be real.
Yeah. So, I think right tackle is probably the biggest position of need. But if there's not one that we feel is the right fit for us, I think that Jordan Davis pick, if he falls that far too, we'll find out. But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cerberus 21, who asked the question.
I'm back, everybody. All hail Telesco and the Messiah.
Staley. I know we haven't always remained faithful as a fan base to the cause, but I'm willing to forgive everyone's sins if they simply pledge full, undying loyalty to our Lord and Savior, Tommy Telesco. If we look into the Chargers doctrine written over 50 years ago, it clearly states in Rivers 4:19, the San Diego Chargers will have accomplished the greatest of all feats when all three stars are aligned. First, there must be a leader on the field more humble and more talented than all the rest. Second, there must be a coach that is willing to risk it all in the most outlandish ways. And finally, the Chargers will return to the Angels when they have finally achieved to capture the victory of all victories. I never quite understood the last one until we moved. My only question to the holiness that be the Charger chapter is, do you think these dirty pagans that call themselves AFC West competitors have a chance to stop the Chargers from fulfilling their destiny? Normally, I'd brush them away like the worthless scoundrels they are, but it seems they just keep acquiring more and more to compensate for their lack of, well, let's just say a lack of depth.
Good one.
All right.
I'm kind to be just completely honest, I'm kind of annoyed that the year we go all in, the AFC West is also all these other teams are really fighting.
Like, hey, that's a good idea. We should do that, right?
Like, it's just like every time we like get in a position like this, there's some curveball. So I'm annoyed. I think we're going to be competing. I think the Raiders won't. I'm not as scared of their new wide receiver as most people are, just because of his name. He's no longer, like we said, with Aaron Rodgers. So it's going to be the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers, and you need to have the ball bounce your way. You need to get lucky.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like Anthony said, we need to cash in some of those bad luck chips and have this be a good season for us.
Right.
But then even getting into the playoffs this year, the AFC is just a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Every good player from the NFC has moved over to the AFC, it feels like.
Has there ever been three teams from one division that have gone to the playoffs? Like three AFC West teams?
Yeah. For sure.
So maybe, just leave the Raiders at home.
I think that's a good bet. That's a good bet. Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Well, if you're a betting person, folks, that's a bet to make. I honestly, I don't know, call me shamelessly positive, but I'm just not worried. I feel like with the moves that we've made this offseason, the Chargers have made, I feel like that defense is going to be something completely different from anything that we've ever seen in the past. At least, I will say, at least on paper, it looks that way. And honestly, as long as, if Khalil Mack and JC Jackson and Derwin James and Joey Bosa can play as well as we've seen them play, it's going to be completely different. And the offense, as far as it stands right now, is pretty much the same. So that should still put points on the board. And I don't know. There's something about me that's really not stressed about it, but we'll find out once opening day comes around. But
time will tell.
Time will tell. Cerberus21, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Not Will Brown.
Certified, probably fresh.
That's the question.
Hey, guys. I woke up in a cold sweat last night, imagining how the season could play out. Not trying to pre-doom the season, but in your scholarly opinions, what actually makes this season different? Hoo-ha! It seems like the whole AFC West has experienced a rising tide effect. Why won't we just Charger at the higher level this year? Would love an answer that can help me sleep. Jackson Mahomes is my sleep paralysis demon. Hoo-ha! Bolt up, down, and all around. Not Will Brown.
Oh my God, I just picture you like stuck in bed and he's like dancing in the corner on the TikToking. Sleep paralysis. Oh, it's too funny. That is a visual.
Honestly, it's Staley, dude.
Staley, that's what I was going to say. That's the difference maker here.
That is the difference maker, man. Staley and Herbert, really, it's the leadership of this team. And I think and Derwin James, Derwin James being the leader on the defensive side, those three guys, yes, we had them last year. I don't think last year was chargering at all. It didn't feel that way to me. That was just,
it was a feel out year. It was the first.
It was a feel out year. Yeah.
And just the last game, how that ended, that was not a Charger way to lose that game. He was coming back, and he did his best. Like we came back. We didn't let it slip through our fingers, which is a normal Charger thing.
No, we emptied the tank to the best of our ability, and it didn't go our way. But
guess what? We're gonna have a bigger tank this year, so let's fucking roll.
That's right.
Because gas prices are skyrocketing.
We are paying for it. Tommy's been writing a lot of checks for that gas. These analogies are fantastic.
I love it. So yeah, keep the faith, Will Brown. Or not Will Brown. Excuse me, you're not Will Brown.
Not Will Brown.
Not Will Brown.
Not Will Brown.
No. You just created a new silent D monster.
A new nemesis. You're like Batman. You're creating all these enemies.
I'm not doing it on
This is like
purpose.
the
I swear
penguin.
to
You already
God.
have the Joker. Jeeves is a Joker.
Jeeves, silent D, and this is not Will Brown.
Not Will Brown. Thank you for asking the
Good luck
question.
with Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
And let's go out of Ask Boltfam with Señor Snappy, who asked the question. If in your one dark day happened to, well, kill a man, not in cold blood, mind, but let's say a man came around one day and stole your favorite hunting hound, and it made you mad, made you real mad. Mad like the likes that hadn't been seen since old Lot left the Twin Cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, flaming holy retribution. Mad like that. And you found the man that nicked your beloved hound, and he was looking up at the sky or cooking his supper or polishing his beanpole. And in that dark minute, the devil came over you, held you by the throat, raised your mighty arms, and lo, you done cold-cocked that motherfucker across the back of this God-blessed melon. Then what, WoolDog? Would you come back to your homeland, explore your roots a bit, settle down with a lady who would never hear you tell your terrible deeds of yore, saying the Bolts want it all? Would you do it then?
That was good.
I don't know. That's a really creepy voice.
That was so good. That was good.
That's really good.
You should put that on your reel. That was a good one.
All right. Well, I'll do it. All right. So if I understand this correctly, if a guy stole my dog and I killed him, would I tell my soon-to-be wife that the Bolts won it all?
See.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
No, wait. Is the question, would you come back to your homeland? Like, would you move back to San Diego, LA? Is that what
That's the question.
Is that it?
Explore your roots a bit, settle down with a lady who never heard. You're moving. You killed a man in Idaho and you're on the run. You got to get back home.
That's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
Dude, this is good, Señor Snappy. This is an onion we got to peel back.
Well,
what would it take?
I probably wouldn't be going by the WoolDog anymore. I'd probably be going by Sam Smith or something like that.
Not Will Brown.
Not Will Brown.
Smith.
Yeah, why the not? Sure. The Bolts won
You
it
got
all.
a place to stay? Will you harbor this fugitive, Señor Snappy?
You harbor this fugitive. It's killing motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that's
I promise.
Scary WoolDog.
Just as long as you don't kill my dog, Señor Snappy, I think you've got nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Unless it's a spiral and now you've just lost it.
And then I'm just out of control, murder spree.
You just
they write tales about me.
Blood,
yeah. It's got a taste for it now. Oh boy.
Good work.
Netflix documentary. Here I come. All right, Señor Snappy, thank you for asking the question, and thank you all for asking questions and Ask Bolt Fam. We appreciate it. It's what makes these episodes what they are. And thank you to Kyle for sticking through this, buddy. I know this was tough, but hey,
battling for us.
We love having you on.
I got a date with the porcelain throne right when we're done here.
All right, that's gonna do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Everyone that knew WoolDog knew he was, a pretty happy guy. But there was always something off. He loved that dog. He called it WoolDog Jr. It was a real nice dog, real happy.
Well, one day that dog goes missing and no one knows why. Oh, he said, I'll kill whoever took WoolDog Jr. And, well, hoo-ha! We didn't think he really meant it.
I tell you, one day he just went missing. He just, fell off the face of the earth. Didn't answer his phone. Didn't show up to work. No one knew what happened to WoolDog. And then one day he turns up. Only he's not WoolDog anymore. He says he's Señor Snappy.
Señor Snapped, the WoolDog story, only on Netflix.